Sonic.traumatized description in his disguised form, he appears almost identical to the normal Sonic, with only a few differences: a barely stitched bloody vertical scar running from the top of his head down to his chest, tiny black eyes, and an uncanny smile. His true form is 9 feet tall and look like a tall and skinny Sonic with sharp feet and black eyes and sharp claws. Backstory: nothing was out of the ordinary in that exploration. Sonic and his friends were in Marble Zone. They were looking for the Chaos Emeralds, just like they had been for a while, with no results. Nothing out of the ordinary, at least, until Sonic decided to wander away from his friends, going in a place he never looked in before. It was under a TV screen, but it wasn't like the usual TV screens that gave you a power-up. That screen contained a warning sign. Sonic became confused, but curious. Maybe there was something that could have helped him in his research. He went in, and he found something that looked kind of like a temple with a giant rusted door, probably to something important judging from the incisions on it. They weren't readable anymore from the weather corrosion, but they surely looked of some importance. Sonic tried half-heartedly to open it, without success, but as soon as he turned around, the door started falling apart and heavy rocks fell on him, trapping him in place. His friends, having heard the noise, decided to go check on him and found him under a rock. He was unconscious and his legs were broken. His friends brought him to the hospital, where the doctor told them that he was in a coma and he didn't know when he would wake up. His friends were worried. Of course, 4 days passed, and they were still next to him, speaking to him, hoping that he would wake up. When he suddenly slowly opened his eyes, he didn't say anything. He just stared at Tails without blinking for a couple minutes. "You're finally awake," said Knuckles. "We were so worried for you." Tails touched Sonic's hand. He didn't want to accidentally hurt him by simply hugging him. He didn't answer. He just stared at the ceiling without blinking. The little fox didn't think much of it. He thought he was just shocked from what happened. After some hours and some checkups, the doctors told them that he could finally go home. 2 months had passed from that day, and nothing too strange had happened. Sonic was a little weird, and a little violent. He became more protective toward his friends, especially Tails. His friends started to understand that there was something wrong, but they didn't think it was something like that. They thought this was just the aftermath of the incident. That until one day, on one of the usual fights with Eggman, the villain tried to hurt Tails, and Sonic was blinded by the rage. He transformed in something creepy. His limbs suddenly stretched and he became 9 feet tall. His eyes became black and his teeth were sharp like a knife. He grew long claws and killed Eggman in a bloody way, and that's when Tails realized that that thing wasn't Sonic at all. When the entity finally killed Robotnik, he went next to Tails and patted him, and just said with a demonic voice, "I protected you, little brother." Powers metamorphosis. He can change form in whatever he wants but feel always look uncanny. Telekinesis. He can move stuff with telekinesis but he don't know how to use the power properly. He can pass through a game to another but that will cause him a lot of unnecessary pain. He can curse people but don't know how. Useless fun fact: he has a sister named Thing. Abby. He likes mac and cheese. He is interested in other exes.